Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Brian if you happen to be new around here, but if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, you legend. We've got a lot to talk about today because I figured I'd sit down and share with you guys what is going on with New World if you've ever played or if you're looking for maybe a vacation from your current MMORPG. Final Fantasy XIV right now is in its weird lull period. This is something that the game has every expansion. This is kind of the lowest and the quietest time for the game, especially with Yoshi P being on tour for Final Fantasy XVI. So I thought I'd kind of give you guys an update on the state of New World and why this might be a really good time to take a vacation in this world. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to explore. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. There's a lot of content actually right on the horizon. So if you've been on a break from the game for any period of time, just note that there's even more content around the corner and there is no subscription to the game. That is perhaps probably the first and foremost thing that I would actually recommend and why this is a good game to kind of take a chance on or a break on or a vacation with is namely, you're not going to have to be doing too much. You're not going to have to spend any money outside the initial offering. Here's the kicker too. Like this game, I almost said Final Fantasy. This is going to be also a game that ends up being on sale pretty soon from the time of this recording. So if you have the game, I would say recommend getting it updated, checking out all the changes that have been within, and we're going to explore some of those changes here in today's video. So first and foremost, if you have not seen, the game has added a bunch of new weapons. If you're ever kind of curious about what weapons are, they are basically like the way that you build out your own class. You have various different types, one-handed, two-handed, ranged, and magical. And right now I am working on leveling up my various different range. These are the last two to get to the level cap on the weapon of 20. The in-game also still has a level cap of 60 on your character, so you don't have to sit here and worry about grinding out anything right now past it. And the gear score cap is currently set at 625, and the main kind of end game stuff we've got covered here on the channel with lots of different things like that. So I'm actually running around in Fisher gear, and that's one of the things that is coming on March the 28th is loadouts. Loadouts are going to be a way, just like you have gear sets in Final Fantasy XIV, to be able to set up your character much, much easier. And the great news is the 28th isn't that far away. It is a truly great system. I've covered it here on the channel if you want more insights to loadouts. What makes this game substantially fun for me is that everything you're doing really actually contributes to the overall enjoyment of the game because gold is power. This means that you can purchase like some really awesome gear, and how gear is set up where this becomes a little bit more refreshing than anything else is it has perks. So your gear score isn't the be all end all, and they can actually have the same gear score to items in different content locked into the different dungeons, aka the expeditions. And with the raid on the way, there's sure lots to do. So if you're ever curious, you can always jump into a dungeon. And this is going to tell you what kind of rewards you get. And as you beat the dungeon, it does have additional levels. This adds to the end game content loop. And every week, the mutated dungeons rotate around the available dungeons in the game. And at the moment, they can have up to 2 mutated dungeons per week that are active at the time of this recording. That's going to be Barnacles and Black Powder and the Lazarus, Lazarus Instrumentality, so the Lazarus Shrine, which is right there. The beautiful thing is also they've added in the group finder where you can post a group, you can list what you want as your role and then essentially what you're looking for. Now, this system is not as complete as Final Fantasy system, but note that it is a very easy system to use and it makes it so much more enjoyable. The best thing is there is going to be cross-server play coming, but that's going to be much, much later in the next, what is called Season 4, which is going to be winter 2023-2024, when we'll see that added to the expeditions. So at the time, servers are going to be the thing. And so if you guys want to team up with me, we are on Orifina. We are, have a group in our Discord. All links are all in the description. So be sure to check that out. So when it comes down to it, when I say gold is power, the economy is very important. So doing things like this end up being just simple, easy, fun. Anything you are doing is really kind of having a varying different value. So you can play the game very casually. You can get sweaty and you can get involved in the PvP and start doing more. In fact, I'm actually PvP flagged right now just for the heck of it. It's actually it's not as crazy as you think, because you can always unflag from PvP. You don't actually have to do any PvP in this game if you don't want to. I'm going to kill this guy real quick. I'm going to show you guys a few more things that are going on in the game. So we kind of teased the dungeon finder, the group finder, things like that, the various different content. You can see here, last week we were dominating. I play for the Syndicate. That's the Purple Boys. We were dominating. Right now it looks like green is on the move, taking over land. This doesn't have a negative impact on you if you're not involved with PvP, but this overall feels like just a fun system to be a part of if you so choose to do so. You can always see what's going on in terms of it. Let me go ahead and just pay my taxes on my house. That's one of the nice systems the game has, is you don't lose your house like you would in Final Fantasy XIV if you don't log in after a period of time. You get to keep your house, but you lose the perks that the house gives you. And so it also helps you rank up within the zone, thus allowing me to get even more and more perks. Let me go ahead and say decrease the property upkeep, and I can actually reduce my taxes and so much more as I continue to level up in the zone. So it gives me, you can see here, I don't spend much time in First Light. Maybe I'm going to go do a stream or something like that, but Everfall is kind of where I spend most of my time in my home. But I did say there's other things in the game itself. Outpost Rush, endgame, level 60, PvP, 20v20. It's a lot of fun. I would highly encourage you to check out Outpost Rush. They have the 3v3 arenas. This is going to be enhanced, both Outpost Rush and arenas, when they add in cross-server play. That's coming to Outpost Rush this summer, along with the raid. That we're going to get our first raid and an expansion this fall, but also the 3v3 arena, which ends up going to get a new map and things like that. So there's more changes coming. I'm hoping to see more. And they recently added in leaderboards, and leaderboards end up being kind of a nice little system in place. Now, I like to focus in on company and friends, because generally speaking, I can be casual sometimes, and I haven't done any Arcana. But at fishing, in terms of fishing, we can see exactly what's going on here. I'm going to filter that down, and you can see here, it looks like, oh my gosh, dude, DJ Dubs, what are you doing to me? I was winning. I was number one out of all of us, and now it looks like DJ Dubs has got one more legendary fish caught. So that's going to be something I have to work on tonight. I like this. You can kind of see it based off of the quarterly, which is going to end up being the season. You can also end up seeing it on a monthly scale, in which how that's being applied. So different leaderboards, no real rewards in this case, but it's going to be something that's going to be, I don't know. I like leaderboards. I always like it for bragging rights, to kind of play around with how that all works out together. But that is essentially kind of just the highlights. Like, this game is just a lot of fun. It does have, semi-controller support, and native controller support is being developed and on the way. So I think that ends up being kind of something you can end up enjoying. It's a game that you can play by yourself if you want to, but it's also very social, a very asynchronous social kind of game. You can see here over on the left-hand side, chat is going on. And if you were, I don't know, if offended by what, like a global chat can say, you can always come in here, play with your settings, and you can actually mute global chat if you so desire, or any of the various other chats in that you want. Personally speaking, I always find global chat to be a fun time to be at, especially when fishing and just kind of relaxed and playing in the game. The game doesn't just also feature instance-based content like with what we just showed off with the group finder, but there are a ton of various different open world dungeons that you will actually be able to find and run and kind of grind on if you so choose to do so. Lots of little things and a lot of easy ways to kind of get around. One of the things you can see here is with my house. I can always recall to my house and editing time, and I can even reset that. So as you kind of play the game and open up the various different teleport spots, especially if it's been a while since you've played, you'll find that it's so easy to get around. It is not this punishing thing that it was when the game first launched, and it does give you a lot of options to kind of play around with. So now I'm already back at home, and then from here I can teleport anywhere that I want to go. I can teleport to any city. I can I can run around and recall and reset that. I see recall a house, pay 19 Azoth just to reset the cooldown, or if I just want to generally teleport. Right now, we own the place that makes it free. And if I just go grind for a little bit, I'll get this up to 2,000. I've been doing a lot of crafting just to see how I can spend my Azoth. So don't think of 136 as being low. Think of the fact that I'm always capped at Azoth. And so I just decided to spend that before filming this video specifically. One of the things, again, back to the gold, is power. The economy is booming. It is moving. Things are buying. Things are being sold. And that's going to give you lots of opportunity to make money. You can list or you can find various different buy orders. Right now, I wouldn't recommend gold, personally speaking, but like in this regards, you can see what people are willing to be purchasing, and it gives you the opportunity to make a lot of money, because if you want to go and just buy and list your own buy orders, you can actually have people farm the materials for you. If I go and place a sell order, the difference here is not that much. So ultimately, if you just had the stuff to offload, you can find lots of people willing to buy things from you. And that's what's really important. You can see here for the gold Igon, you know, I don't know, I can't read or pronounce things correctly. You'll find that you can actually make and have lots of opportunities to flip the market, make plenty of money, and then continue on getting what you want and what you need out of the game. Lots of things coming along the way. Like I said, we are entering in a seasonal based model. It's going to have a battle pace pass. And that's essentially going to be acting as kind of the optional sub, which will help continue to fund the game. And with the expansion that is coming later this year, I think it's going to be interesting. Mounts coming later this year. They're even having swimming as a discussion point. Why would you want to go check out this game over Final Fantasy XIV? Well, the answer is that if you've already watched this far into the video itself, chances are you're maybe a little bit tired of Final Fantasy XIV. And it's not that you have to quit that game. I'm just saying, like, maybe take a vacation and experience something that's definitely different. Final Fantasy is an RPG MMO. This is an MMORPG. It has a story. It actually been adding cutscenes, voice, dialogue, so much more. The quality of the game continues to improve. And as any MMO goes, you're always going to find plenty of people who don't like it and are willing to share. But I love this game. I think it's great. I love Final Fantasy XIV. I hope that you love it as well. But if you're looking for something more to do and you want to have, I don't know, a generally different experience set into kind of a world that feels different, it's not going to feel the exact same thing. It's not going to be like what you're doing right now. I think that's a worthwhile opportunity for you to maybe, I don't know, step into a game with a lot of, I would say, with a very low risk, because again, you're not paying a subscription. If you already have purchased the game, well, the good news is just update it and you'll be ready to rock and roll. And if your machine struggles running it, this game does also run on GeForce Now, which will give you lots of opportunities. And that's actually usually where I play. I play this game primarily on GeForce Now because I'm usually not sitting at my main PC computer, doing these kind of things. So it opens it up to a lot of really good things. Anyway, hopefully this was an enjoyable video for you. Hopefully you got something good from it. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. But until then, take care.